everybody, Alex here from Snake on Exotics, and we've got part 2 of yesterday's video. So as you saw, we had our big delivery today, and we had our new filter systems arrive. So, so that is all our new filters for all our tanks. So what we're doing is we're going from under gravel filters to sponge filters. So the way these work, sorry, it was the bloke I've got doing the valeting of my car. Brought me his cardio. So how these work, I think I've told you a couple of times. So the gravel is our filter. So that's where all our good bacteria lives. That's where all the water gets drawn through and out the uplift pipe. So I think we've got a tank of it. Aha, we can show you on these. This is a minute version and they've uncovered some of the gravel. So if you look there, you see all the bits getting sucked underneath. See the slight little, and it gets sucked under. See, it's sucked under. All these tiny little flicklets of stuff is getting sucked right underneath there. So it's doing it wrong there really. So what happens is this forces the water out of the pipe. So the water wants to be in that pipe really bad. So the only way for it to get into that pipe is to go through the gravel, through the under gravel filter, and then up the pipe, and then it gets forced out the top again, and it starts a cycle of doing that. So same again, in here, all the water gets forced through the gravel, goes along the under gravel filter, and then up the uplift, and then out the top, and then it goes, oh, I need to fill that gap, and it goes back in again, and then back in again, and that's how it works. All our good bacteria, all our food, and all our poo goes into the gravel. So to clean our filter, we have to do gravel vacuum. There's no other way to clean it. So we have to do a water change at the same time as gravel vacuum, because you can't not do a water change while you're gravel vacuum. So you stab it into the gravel, it sucks up all the muck that's sat in our little compartment down there, because it goes through the gravel and then collects all the nasties underneath in the water reservoir section underneath it. So then when you carry on gravel vacuuming it all, but you never get it spotless, you never ever do. But a dirty filter is normally a happy filter. So what the plan is going to be is, because I want to have a little bit more control over what we're doing, I'd like to be able to just do, I don't know, say we've done a water change on them, and then some of the fish look a bit ropey or something like that. Another day I can do just a filter clean and not a water change. Or if I've got fish that are a little bit sensitive and they're a little bit skitty and I don't want to do a water change on them because it's going to scare them, I can just do a filter clean instead of doing a water change as well. That's the idea behind it, and I'll be able to be a lot easier to do all the work. So that is the idea. And I think it would look a little bit more neat and tidy. And at some point I want to get rid of the gravel. I'm thinking different types of sand and stuff like that. I'm not 100% on it, but that's what I'm umming and ahhing about. So Alex, how are you going to do this without losing your good bacteria? Well, I'm going to tell you. So what we're going to do is, normally, so if we had normal electric filters and we wanted to put a new one in, we would run both at the same time. We physically can't run both at the same time because we don't have enough airline. We'd have to double up on every single bit of airline so we could run both. So we can't physically do that. But what we can do, all our good bacteria is in the gravel. So if we leave the gravel in for a good month, then what all these filters are going to colonize with the good bacteria that is in the gravel. So over time, the good bacteria is going to move from the gravel to the sponge. And then once that's happened, we can then change the gravel and get the under gravel filters out. But until that happens, we can't mess with it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to change them, and then we're going to be leaving the tanks as they are for at least a month. I'll be doing multiple testing to check that we don't accidentally go into a cycle again, or we don't have a crash. Because if we lose all the good bacteria, the tank crashes. So then we get spikes of ammonia, nitrite and nitrate, which we don't want. So if we can avoid a crash and avoid bad stuff happening to the filters and the fish, we will try and do that ourselves. So we'll be running the filters in there with the gravel and everything as it is now. Let the good bacteria colonise the filters, and then we can crack on. And then we can put them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple with you, and then I'm just going to do a couple myself. Maybe do a time lapse, something like that, because it's not going to be the biggest of video today. It's just going to be changing all the filters, how we do it, and what we're doing. And then at some point I've got to do the axolotls. I've got to get on them quite early, because yesterday it took me 2.5 hours to do all the water changes and to feed them. So it's past 4 o'clock now. It's like 4:30, nearly 5. What time is it? It's 4:30. 4:30. So I'm at least here till 7 o'clock. And that's if I don't do the filters and I jump straight on the axolotls now. So I think I'm gonna have to do some of these, do the axolotls, and then come back onto this if I've got enough time. So our first tank to be done is the red-eyed tetras. So we're just going to do this one. I've literally just randomly picked a tank. There's no reason or to it or anything. I've just picked this one or do. Let's do this one first. So we should have sponge filter, and then we should have an uplift pipe. La la. Perfectamundo. So airline goes on there. This goes on top. Water goes up the uplift. Muck and poo go in there. Absolutely perfect. So we open the tank. Wahaha. And then this here is our uplift. So this is what causes the vacuum and causes the water to go through the gravel. This, so if I take this apart, there is our uplift inside. We extend it by using this bit of pipe. So all in there is what the bubbles are going to be forcing the water out of this sponge. So then the water goes, I need to fill that hole. So it goes back through the sponge to fill that hole. That's the idea behind it. So I'll put it all back together. It's quite simply to put together. There's nothing too crazy about it. So there we go. I'm going to be taking this apart. So let's get a good angle for you, like that. So they are just twisted in. So we should better just untwist it. Look at that, perfect. And then we come down, we take the lid off. Like so, and we pull the air stone out. We don't actually need the air stone, so we can get rid of that as well. It's making bigger bubbles though, making bigger bubbles. Bigger bubbles, bigger bubbles. So we get this off as well. Ooh, proper job. Then we add our sponge filter. So there we go. It's got to have a load of air in it, so we've got to give it a squeeze, get all the air out of it so it wants to sink. There we go. Perfect. Then we take the tube off, slide that up the pipe, and we push our air line on like so. There you go, that's got it. And we come down with our pipe, we push that down, and there we go. That is our conversion. I do have to adjust the airline a bit because it's a bit longer than what we needed. But there we go. That's one done. Oh, so we have to adjust it. It's going to have to adjust it. I'm going to have to do some stuff with the air. I'm going to have to cut the airline a little bit shorter or slightly change the positioning like that. There we go. Okay, can we shut it now? Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so now you can see it has, because I've took that uplift off, the pressure on here sucking all the water down has let go. So anything that was being sucked down by the force of the water has let go, if you know what I mean. So the force was pushing it down through the gravel, and if it was sat on the gravel, it's gone, oh, the weight's come off me now, and then it's going to move across and it's going to get attached to this sponge. You can see it's all trying to come this way because it wants to go in that sponge. So that's what we're going to do on all of the tanks. Changed my mind, that looks a bit wrong. So I've looked at my other ones and they've got a nice flow of bubbles. This one was blah, 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 blah. So I think if you saw I had an air stone on it, didn't I? So if we cut the pipe up, because the airline has stretched the open of the pipe bigger, so I think it's leaking air. So I'm just going to cut the end off, so we get a nice proper end on it. Take this all apart again, push that onto here. Oh, come on. Oh, nearly. It's old airline, so it's quite hard and stiff. Okay. See if that's made any difference. Still just as violent, really. What we might have to do is slow down the airflow going to that pipe, because that's no good. See, got that one compared to that, nice and chilled out and steady. So I think I'm gonna have to turn the flow down a little bit, because that's quite violent. I've gone underneath here. I've got all the valves to slow down the airflow. So I found out which one that one was, turned it down a little bit. That's so much better. Nice and steady. We ain't got loads of rubbing at the surface. We haven't got water flying out the top. So I'm a lot happier with that. So we'll crack on. I've still got to adjust the airline a little bit. I think I'm going to have to go behind the tanks and just pull a bit of the slack through. Because with the air stones, they were right at the bottom of the pipes, really. And really now it's about halfway up. So the pipe is a little bit long for what I need. So I'm going to try and do a couple more, and then I'm going to get the axolotls out and I'm going to have to jump on that. Well, this is taking a lot longer than what I thought. I thought I'd just be able to take it all apart, put the end on, drop it in. But I'm having to go through each and every single one and change the flow of the air. The flow's just too wanting to go. So it's literally, you can see it's chunking water up the top and stuff like that. So I've had to go through each and every single one and reduce the air to find out which one it is and reduce the air. So it's going to take me ages and ages and ages. So I think I'll have to, I don't know if it's going to be a job for tomorrow or what, but I've done 4. That's all I've done is 4. So, and I'm still not quite happy with them because it's quite loud. I'm going to have to adjust them again, I think. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put this on a hold for a second. That was my elbow. So now we're going to do the axolotls and see how they're getting on. Just a couple. So here's half of our axolotl population. So we're doing really well. We've got some quite good sized ones now. So if I can show you the size difference on these ones, because some of them are reasonable sized little axolotl and some of them are tiny, tiny. So if you look at that little dude down there, he's very, very small. But if we move over 1 cup, look at this. Look at the size difference. Can we get both in? Can we? Yeah. Look at the size difference. The one on the right, I'm going to confuse, the camera's going to switch it on me, innit? So the one with the dots, you can't see the eyes, he's about half the size of that one. So he's a lot smaller, same as that one. That one's very small. It's one of the main reasons I've separated them all, because that big one can fit the little one in his mouth. So that's no good. So I've avoided that scenario by everybody's in separate tanks now. It's a little bit earlier than what they should be. Normally, you separate the baby axolotls when you see arm nubbies. So when you see arm nubbies, that's when you separate them, because they're going to start eating each other's legs. But they were actually eating each other, like fully. So that's why I thought, separate them all off. We ain't got no worries about it. But yeah, everyone looks good. With the losses is virtually gone now, so we're really not losing any at all. Maybe the odd 1 or 2. That's literally it. I've still got 14 in the tub on its own, I think. Maybe a little bit less. But I'm going to start doing the water changes and stuff now. Oh, this is going to be fun. So as you can see, we've got 80% of them out. So I haven't got them all out. I've still got some in there. But the idea, I ain't got any more room. So the idea is water changes, feed some of these, get them in there, and then we can take the rest of these out once I've got room. So I'm going to slowly start doing some. So I'll do a couple, load them into there, then the space that I've made, by putting them in there, I'll get the rest of these out, and then I can start filling it back up and slowly stocking it back up. But I've just had some customers in, so I'm running even later. It's like 5:30 now and I haven't done any. So we've got to siphon out all the nasties. Oh, come on, it's hard to do with one hand. Come on. There we go. Suck it all up. Suck it up. Suck it up. Come on. Get in the pipe. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There it is. Oh, run out of suck. We're going back in. We're going back in for a second go. Now there it is. Okay, let's see if we can. Sucky, 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 suck. I can't get it. Why can't I get it? It's hard with one hand. It is. It's extremely hard. Okay, got one. Yep, sweet. Lovely job. Then we can grab some food for him. Like so. Which one was we doing? Ah, this one. Yes. So there's his food. Then we put some nice clean water in there to top him back off. Like so. One. Done. Only 126 left to do. Yay! Okay, so I've done my first little corner. So what I've got to do now is I need my bit of card, like so. That then goes on top. Then I can unrelease these ones. And then those are the ones I've got to do next. So those ones have got to come out, be fed and water changed. And then once that's happened, then we can put the cardboard back on and I can start filling them back up layer by layer. Oh, a little fact for you though, axolotls actually shed their skin. So normally you never ever see it. It's almost like a leopard gecko. So they will shed their skin over night time and they eat it. So a lot of the times when animals eat their shed, it's to stop predators smelling it and finding them. So, and it's waste of energy. So if you've spent all this energy making this lovely layer of skin and then you shed it off and leave it, that's wasted energy that you've just wasted. So that's why they eat it, to recoup some of that energy, and it stops any predators smelling it and finding it and working out where they are. Facto for the day, yo. Well, it's now 6 o'clock and I'm on the third row. So I'm just about to put the cardboard piece back down. If I can get it out without knocking the bucket off. Waha! That goes on top. Like so. Then we have a little strip that goes down there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And now I've got two that are already ready. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 left. And then we're on to the next lot. Fun. Okay, so 63 down, 64 to go. Don't we have so much fun here? We have so much fun. Okay. Crack on with the next lot. Time update, 20 to 7. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 left to do. And then we've still got to get the 2 tubs out of the back, so we're going to get them now. So we've got, these are the tiniest axolotls we've got left. So these are our smallest ones. So we're going to, if I've got, I ain't got any room for any more cups, but if anyone's ready to be separated, I'll separate them. But I mean, the rest of these will be staying in there because they're so small. Well, it's 7 o'clock. Well, 8 minutes to. There you go, 8 minutes to. Finally got them all done. Shop closed an hour ago, but I'm still doing stuff. So I finally got them done. I think I'm going to make the executive decision. That's the tomorrow job. So if I carried on doing it, you ain't going to get a video tonight if I carry on. So for you, I'm going to stop and get the video done for you. So I think that's probably going to be it for the part 2 of this video. But yeah, that is the plan. We're going to bosh the rest of them out. We've done all the axolotls. But we needed to do it. Needed to be done. But this is a bit more than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was literally going to be a swap over, but it's not. It's a swap over and an airflow adjust, which is, if I knew which one was which, it'd be easy, but I've got to test each one to find out which one it is. It's just going to take me ages. So let's put them all back. Oh, I forgot. Got to top these ones up. So I've only got 1 tub of little babies now. I've put them all into one container. Not many little ones, but I've combined them all to one enclosure. We can go there. Aha. Slidey, slidey. Ooh. And away we go. So it's an hard life being an axolotl, daddy of 200 axolotl, well, 120 something axolotls. So, but that's all the time I've got for today on part 2, because I've got to go and put the video on for you. So please like, subscribe, comment and share, ring the bell for me. If you want to watch another video, should be one there. If you want to subscribe to the channel, it's up there. If you want to watch a playlist, it's up there. So I'll see you in the future. Bye.